Welcome anyone to my YouTube channel. This is Everett, aka Two Beasts to Kill You, aka the Beast with the Least. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the recently released Compulsion games South of Midnight from Xbox. Released on Xbox Series X and PC. I played on the X because I'm a loser that way. Anyways, before I get into all that, if you enjoy my content, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Trying to grow this channel as best I can. And it's hard unless I pay money. But let's go ahead and get into the South of Midnight talk. I'm going to be honest, I did not enjoy this game. There are some positives to it. There are some things I liked about it. But overall, not a very enjoyable game for me. If others out there enjoy it, good for them. More power to you. But after about halfway through this game, kind of wanted to hurry up and get it over with. But let's go ahead and get into what I didn't like about it first. So the three pillars of this game, for actual gameplay, it's combat, puzzle solving, and platforming. First, the combat. It's bare bones God of War or Devil May Cry or Bayonetta or any character action game, hack and slash, that you can think of. Hazel, the name of the main character is Hazel. She has a few abilities. She can push, pull, tie up enemies. She has this little creature named Crouton, or doll, I guess, that she can throw at enemies that they'll control them and do damage to the enemy. And she has like an area of effect attack. But other than that, there's no real meat to the combat. It's just press X, 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 X over, do some abilities, and that's about it. There's no real variety. And so I found myself, especially after the halfway point of the game, every time there was a combat encounter, just her waiting for it to be over. I was just like, this needs to be over. Then there is the platforming for the game, which can be fun. There's wall running. You have abilities to fling yourself forward. You can build platforms. There's various traps and dangers to get past. So platforming is okay at best, I would say. I'm not a big platformer guy. But I would say maybe I enjoyed it a little bit more than the combat. But still not as much as, let's say I was playing a Mario or a Mega Man game. As for the other pillar, the puzzle solving, that was probably the most enjoyable part of the actual gameplay for the game. Still not as fleshed out as I would like. It does seem like they put them there and had the combat as the other half of the gameplay for what Hazel is doing besides just platforming. And so they just didn't focus fully on what the puzzle solving elements. To me, this game probably would have worked better as just a puzzle game with the visuals and the story as the main draw. Because, again, as I said, combat not very good, there's no variety, no real meat to it again. And the puzzles seem like they needed a little bit more thought into them, because it does seem like they wanted to focus on combat as well. So that was just one half of the game. The other half of the game is the atmosphere, the look, all the presentation, which will be the music, the story, and the visuals. Let's go with probably what I enjoyed the least out of those three, which would be the story. The story is just, you're playing as Hazel Flood, and in the beginning she's having an argument with her mother. There's a storm and their house gets washed away in a flood, and so you go on a journey to go look for your mother. And she becomes a weaver, and throughout the game you're finding various characters that have traumas that you then find out their past, and you fix what they call stigma. Not very imaginative, but hey, it works up to a certain point. I will say the story, Hazel looking for her mother and her personal journey with her grandmother and just what she's going through works. When they introduce other characters, it can feel a little just like they couldn't come up with anything else besides, oh, yeah, someone died and this was a traumatic event for this character. Oh, this character killed his brother because he didn't know what else to do, or something like that. Oh, this character got tricked into eating his owner. Oh, this character accidentally got his father killed and so became something. Or this character accidentally dropped something on someone and that person died. And, the people who die typically end up becoming creatures that you fight or just help out. Not every one of them is a fight. But yeah, it did seem a little just over and over. Oh yeah, another character died. Oh yeah, and then yeah, this character had a death. Oh, and there was another character that had a death. So I think that part of the story could have probably been done without, or maybe just shrank. They could have shrank that one a little bit and just focused more on what Hazel was going through, because that part of the story is so much more. It's just so much more interesting than what was going on with the characters that she's helping. I see what they were trying to do with the story, but it does seem a little bit more like they just like, oh well, it's just another traumatic death that now you have to help this character. Yeah, I really wish they would have probably focused more on Hazel. Not probably. I wish they would have focused more on Hazel. But the other two aspects of the presentation, the way the game looks and the music. Now, this game is set in like the deep south, so when it comes to the music fits. Like they even have, besides just the normal music that you would hear in a video game that is, environmental and all that, they have specific songs for characters and just what's going on story-wise at that point. And, with lyrics and, actual instruments and all that. And that part is great. The music I could actually listen to if I'm driving in my car to work or back home from work or whatever. These are songs I would actually listen to. So the music, that one they knocked out of the park. And the visuals, to me, the visuals are just like, they're really good. They're going for that like Spider-Verse style. The frames of the characters don't move as smoothly. It's a little janky, but kind of comic booky a little bit. The characters, the way their dimensions look, are obviously not human. I would say, they're very blocky and all that, but it's going for a certain style that for me worked. It worked so well. It would, if they, instead of making a game, or decided at some point that they were going to turn this into like a movie or a TV show and it was animated and they were going to stick with this art style and the visuals that they chose for the game, that I would be all over for that. Just all over. Yeah, no, I cannot praise the visuals enough. They really, which maybe is why the story and some of the gameplay aspects suffered. They really, you can tell they really, really put their work in when it came to the visuals of the game. And it also runs well. 60 frames, which is what I played it at. It runs smoothly, so. But yeah, that's going to be my thoughts on South of Midnight. It'd be a middling game. It's in the same tier to me as maybe The Last of Us. You're not playing this game for the game. You're playing it for the story and, and in this case for South of Midnight, the pretty visuals, and even the music, the atmosphere that they bring to the game. And because that gameplay, it's rough for me. I'm not gonna say it won't be like that for everyone, but for me, that gameplay is rough. Not very. It got very boring. But that's going to go ahead and do it for my thoughts on South of Midnight. Again, if you like what I bring to YouTube, you like my content, you like my channel, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll catch you later.